Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, where did the time go? One day you're chasing your kids around the house, and the next you're wondering why your knees creak every time you stand up. Aging sneaks up on all of us, but what if I told you it doesn't have to slow you down? Not in the way you might think. Turning 60 used to mean slowing down, retiring, taking it easy. But these days, more and more people in their 60s and beyond are rewriting the script. They're traveling, starting new hobbies, learning new skills, even running marathons. And it's not because they're lucky. It's because they've figured out a few key habits that help them live better and longer. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 health tips that could truly change the way you experience your 60s and beyond. These aren't just things you should do, they're things that work. Practical habits that keep your mind sharp, your body strong, and your spirit full of energy. And the best part? It's never too late to start. Let's begin. With something you might not expect: movement. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, here we go, another exercise lecture, stay with me. I'm not going to tell you to start lifting weights like a bodybuilder or run 5 miles every morning. What I'm talking about is gentle, consistent movement. Something as simple as a 20-minute walk in the morning, stretching while your coffee brews, even gardening counts. The key is staying active, not just for your muscles, but for your brain, your balance, and your independence. You see, our bodies were made to move, but as we age, it's easy to let the days become more sedentary. Maybe your joints ache a little, or you don't have as much energy as you used to. That's totally normal. But the irony is, when you stop moving, those problems only get worse. Your joints get stiffer, your muscles weaken, your energy drops even more. But when you start small, just 5 minutes a few times a day, you begin to feel different. Your balance improves, your posture straightens. You start to feel more confident walking up and down stairs, carrying groceries, or just playing with your grandkids. And that little boost? It adds up. Day after day, it changes the way you move through life. And speaking of movement, let's talk about sleep. It might not sound exciting, but if there's one secret weapon for better health after 60, this is it. Sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. Your body does some of its most important work while you're asleep. It fights off illness, repairs cells, balances your hormones, and even helps with memory. But here's the thing. Sleep changes as we get older. It's common to wake up more during the night, or feel like you didn't get deep sleep. Some people start waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. without meaning to. It's frustrating, I know. But there are small things you can do that really help, like avoiding caffeine late in the day, creating a calming bedtime routine, and turning off screens an hour before bed. Even keeping your bedroom just a little cooler can make a difference. If you find yourself lying in bed staring at the ceiling, don't panic. Don't force it. Get up, do something quiet, read, listen to soft music, then try again. Sleep is a rhythm, not a race. Now that we've talked about how you move through your day and how you rest at night, let's keep going. There's another tip that surprises a lot of people, but it might just be the one that makes everything else easier. It's eating for energy, not just out of habit. You've probably heard every diet recommendation. Under the sun, cut this, avoid that, drink this smoothie, follow that trend. But let's be honest. At 60 and beyond, the goal isn't fitting into your high school jeans. It's feeling alive. Waking up in the morning with a clear head. Moving through your day without feeling foggy, bloated, or just plain tired. Food becomes fuel. And when you give your body the right kind, it thanks you in the best ways. Now that doesn't mean turning your plate into a science experiment. It means tuning in. Asking yourself, how does this meal make me feel afterward? Light and satisfied, or sluggish and sleepy? A simple change like eating more colorful fruits and vegetables, getting enough protein, and not skipping meals can do wonders. You don't need to go vegan or eat like a monk. Just start with balance. Add leafy greens to your plate. Choose whole grains more often than processed ones. Have a bit of healthy fat, like olive oil or a few almonds. And don't fear carbs, but do try to pair them with fiber and protein so they give you lasting energy instead of a quick crash. And hydration. Oh, hydration. You'd be surprised how many aches, mood dips, and even memory slips can be traced back to not drinking enough water. Especially as we age, our sense of thirst can get quieter. So even if you don't feel thirsty, your body still needs that glass of water. Think of it like oiling the engine of a classic car. It just runs better. Now I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough attention. Connection. I mean real, human connection. Whether it's a friend, a spouse, a neighbor, or someone you haven't seen in a while. Staying connected is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health. Loneliness is more than just a sad feeling. Studies show that chronic loneliness can be as harmful as smoking or obesity. It affects your immune system, your heart, your sleep, even how your brain functions. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't need 100 friends to feel connected. One meaningful conversation a day. One person who knows how you're really doing. That can be enough, and it's never too late to build new connections. Maybe it's joining a walking group, volunteering, saying yes to a lunch invitation when your first instinct is to stay home, or even calling an old friend you haven't spoken to in years. That first step might feel small, maybe even awkward, but it's like lighting a candle. Suddenly the room feels a little warmer, so let's recap gently, not as a checklist, but as a rhythm to live by. Move often, sleep deeply, eat with intention, and connect with others. Each of these supports the others, like legs on a stool. When one gets stronger, the whole thing becomes more stable. Now that your foundation is getting stronger, there's one more piece we need to talk about, and it might be the most powerful tool you already have, not your muscles, not your heart, but something just as important. Your mind. Yes, your brain, your thoughts, your focus, your memory. It's easy to assume that forgetfulness or mental fog is just a normal part of getting older. And sure, we all have those moments where we walk into a room and forget why we came in. But that doesn't mean you're on a downhill path. In fact, your brain is far more flexible and trainable than most people think, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. What matters is keeping it engaged. Think of your brain like a garden. It needs regular tending, a bit of challenge, and a lot of care. And no, I'm not talking about solving advanced math problems or memorizing a dictionary. Sometimes the best mental workout is simply doing something new. Try switching up your daily routine. Learn to cook a new recipe. Read about a topic you've never explored before. Try learning a few words in another language, or pick up that hobby you always said you'd try one day. That curiosity, it keeps your brain young. When we stop learning, we stop growing. But when we stretch just a little each day, we stay vibrant. And don't underestimate the power of mindfulness. Just a few minutes of stillness, where you breathe deeply and notice your surroundings, can calm your nervous system and sharpen your attention. Maybe it's during your morning tea, or when you're out on a walk listening to the birds instead of scrolling your phone. These small pauses add up, gently rewiring your brain to feel calmer, clearer, and more present. Another key to brain health? Joy, laughter, that feeling of being in the moment. When's the last time you laughed so hard your stomach hurt? When did you last sing along to your favorite song, or dance in the kitchen just because the mood hit you? These aren't silly things. They're medicine. They reduce stress hormones, release endorphins, and even improve your immune system. Which brings us to something we often ignore until it becomes unavoidable: stress. Now, I know you've probably dealt with your fair share of stress already. Raising kids, working, paying bills, handling life's curveballs. And while some responsibilities may ease up after 60, that doesn't mean stress disappears. In fact, for many people, a new kind of stress takes its place. Maybe it's health concerns, financial worries, or feeling unsure about your purpose now that the kids are grown or retirement has started. These feelings are valid, but they don't have to define you. The way you respond to stress can shift everything. You can't always change what happens, but you can change how you carry it. Gentle breathing exercises, going for a walk, journaling your thoughts, even just talking things out with someone you trust. These can all lighten the load. The more you learn to release that stress, even in small moments, the more space you make for energy, creativity, and peace. So, if your mind feels cluttered or heavy lately, start simple. Breathe, move, laugh. Ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do today that brings me joy or calm? And do that. Not because it solves everything, but because it shifts something. It reminds your brain, your body, your whole self that you are still in charge. You've already come this far with strength and grace. And there's one more piece that brings it all together. Something that's not about food or sleep or even exercise. It's deeper. Something that adds meaning to every day and keeps your heart and your health moving forward. Purpose. It's a word we hear a lot, but what does it really mean after 60? When careers slow down, kids are grown, and the day isn't filled with obligations like it once was. Where does purpose come from? Here's the beautiful truth. Purpose doesn't have to be loud or grand or world-changing. Sometimes it's as simple as waking up with something to look forward to. A reason to put on your shoes, take a walk, call a friend, or write a few lines in a journal. Purpose is what makes each day feel like more than just another square on the calendar. For some, it comes from giving back, mentoring, volunteering, sharing wisdom. For others, it's about creativity, painting, music, writing stories you've carried for decades. And for many, it's found in connection, being a reliable presence in someone else's life. A neighbor who always says hello, a grandparent who listens, really listens, when a child shares their wild, wonderful thoughts. Purpose is also what gets us through the hard stuff. When your body doesn't feel as strong, or the days feel a little too quiet, that deeper why can pull you forward. It reminds you that you still matter, that your presence has weight, that your story isn't over, it's still being written, and you don't need a 5-year plan or a dramatic mission. Purpose can live in the tiniest moments, choosing kindness over irritation, telling someone you love them, taking care of your health, not just for yourself, but for the people who love you. That's purpose, and it's powerful. Now, as we talk about adding life to your years, there's one more often overlooked habit that ties everything together. Something so small, yet so impactful, it can change not only how you feel, but how others feel around you. It's something free, something already inside you. Gratitude. When we pause even just for a moment and appreciate the little things, a warm cup of coffee, a bird singing outside the window, a friend's unexpected phone call, we shift something inside ourselves. Our perspective widens, our stress eases, and we begin to notice how much good is still around us. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to see the beauty even when things aren't. It means letting go of the idea that life has to look a certain way in order to be wonderful. You can carry sorrow and joy. You can miss what's gone while still loving what's here. Try starting your day with a simple practice. Name 3 things you're grateful for before you even get out of bed. It could be your cozy blanket, your pet snoring on the floor, or just the fact that you woke up to live another day. That small habit, it sets the tone. It reminds your heart to stay open. When you pair gratitude with movement, rest, nourishment, connection, mental engagement, stress release, and purpose, you're not just adding years to your life. You're filling those years with strength, meaning, and joy. And that brings us full circle. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin, one choice at a time, one habit, one moment of kindness toward yourself. Because believe it or not, your best days don't have to be behind you. They can still be unfolding right here, right now. And there are just a couple more things I want to share that can help you keep that momentum going. And one of those is how you care for your body on the inside, specifically by paying attention to your gut. It's something people often dismiss until discomfort shows up. Bloating, indigestion, irregularity. But the truth is, your gut is like a second brain. It talks to your immune system, affects your mood, and even influences how much energy you feel during the day. If your gut is unhappy, chances are the rest of you will feel it too. That's why nurturing your digestion becomes more important with age. And no, this doesn't mean only eating kale and sipping herbal tea, though those can help too. It means listening to what your body responds to, adding more fiber-rich foods like vegetables, berries, oats, or chia seeds, drinking enough water so things move along, and when needed, considering fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut to support your healthy gut bacteria. And here's something most people don't realize. Medications, even ones you've taken for years, can affect your digestion over time. So if something feels off, don't just accept it. Talk to your doctor. Small tweaks can make a big difference. You deserve to feel comfortable in your own body, not just tolerate it. Now, while we're on the topic of feeling better from the inside out, let's talk about something else that often gets overlooked: your posture. You might not think much about how you're standing or sitting until you start feeling aches in your neck, back, or shoulders. But posture isn't just about looking upright. It affects your breathing, circulation, and even how confident you feel. And yes, it changes as we age. The spine compresses, the shoulders round, the head leans forward more than it used to. But it's never too late to improve. A few simple stretches, done consistently, can help. Try standing tall with your shoulders gently pulled back, your chin level with the ground, and your core lightly engaged, just like a string is lifting you from the top of your head. It's not about being stiff. It's about feeling supported. And when you sit, choose a chair that encourages good alignment. Plant your feet flat on the floor, sit up tall, and take a few deep breaths into your belly. You'll be amazed how just 5 minutes of mindful posture can change how you feel for the rest of the day. It's like switching from dim lighting to a bright, clear room. You feel more awake, more alive. When you start giving your body that kind of attention, it starts to respond. You walk differently. You carry yourself with more ease. And the people around you notice too. Not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you're simply owning your space. And that confidence, that quiet strength, it's contagious. So here we are at the heart of it all. The choices you make after 60 are not just about adding years. They're about adding life to your years. It's the little daily habits done consistently and with care that create real change over time. And you don't have to do it alone. You've got people rooting for you, maybe more than you know, including me. You've already taken the first step by showing up here, by being open to change, by believing, even just a little, that your best years might still be ahead of you. There's one final thought I want to leave you with. Something simple but powerful. Something that could do everything together and light the path forward from here. It's the belief that you are still becoming. You see, somewhere along the line, society started sending the message that life peaks before 60, and after that, it's all about winding down. But that's just not true. Not even close. The truth is, every day you wake up, you're still growing, still evolving, still capable of joy, discovery, strength, and change. You're not a finished story. You're a living, breathing, becoming. And when you look at life that way, everything feels possible again. That's why this isn't about strict routines or chasing perfection. It's about honoring yourself, listening to your body, feeding your mind, protecting your peace, moving with purpose, laughing more, loving deeper, saying yes to things you've put off, and saying no to things that drain your energy. It's about realizing that you don't need to be younger. You just need to feel more you, more aligned, more awake, more here. So let's bring it all together, gently. You've learned how important movement is. Not to impress anyone, but to feel free in your own skin. You've seen how restful sleep repairs your body and mind. You've remembered how food is not just fuel, but comfort and clarity. You've been reminded that connection heals, that your mind still wants to stretch and play, and that joy, real, deep joy, is as vital as any vitamin. You've looked at stress not as a weakness, but as something you can face with calm and grace. You've touched on purpose, not in the big, dramatic sense, but in the quiet, meaningful moments that give your life shape. You've thought about how posture affects your presence, and how gratitude softens your heart and brightens your world. And now you're here, at the end of this video, but maybe, just maybe, at the beginning of something else. A fresh season, a different mindset, a reminder that your 60s and your 70s and 80s and beyond can be filled with light, with movement, with ease, with you, fully present in your own life. You don't need to change everything today. Just pick one thing, one small shift. Maybe it's drinking more water, taking a walk after dinner, calling someone you've been thinking about, or simply going to bed a little earlier tonight with a full, grateful heart. And if this video gave you even one idea, one spark of hope, one moment of clarity, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your experiences, or even your favorite health tip in the comments below. Let's make this a place where wisdom and kindness are shared openly. If this resonated with you, give the video a like. It helps others find it too. And if you want more gentle guidance, motivation, and heart-centered advice for living well at every age, subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started, and I'd be honored to walk this path with you. So here's to you, to your strength, to your softness, to your wisdom, your laughter, your resilience. Here's to living not just longer, but better. Because your best chapter, it's still being written, and it's going to be beautiful.